Oh shit. The world nobles are so fucking bad that even if you can't remember them, you know to stay away from them. That was ridiculous. Anyway, the episode started 4 minutes in. That's strange. Usually it starts 12 minutes in. You know, not four. Like we got the episode actually started. We got everything on out the way. 4 minutes. Anyway, Sabo, he comes to the what you call him, what's my man name? Soldier's house. His name Soldier. That's one of his name. That's his alias. Y'all remember his name. Um Damn, what's his name? Riku. His name is Steezo. Damn, his goddamn name. What's the dude name? It starts with an R. It ain't King Riku and you I can't remember his name for some reason. I don't know. Soldier. That's his name. Soldier. He comes to his house so he could talk about old shit. That's basically what happened. He revealed that he's Luffy's brother. Robin jumps up. She's like, "Oh, Sabo!" That was fun as hell. Seeing that part, I was like, "Oh man!" So she remembers him. She knows what it is. Everybody's like, "Hey, if he knows Robin, he must be cool." And then they looked at me and said, "Luffy's brother?" I said, "I thought Ace was Luffy's brother." He said, "No, I'm the other brother." The other brother from another mother? Where'd that come from? So they asking him questions, see if he could, see what he could tell them about his past and whatnot. Anyway, the Celestial Dragons ain't shit because he goes into his backstory. Sabo's setting sail trying to get away from his family and whatnot in that place, Goa Kingdom, because he just does not need to be there. He set sail on a pirate ship. The goddamn Celestial Dragon blows his ship up. First, he blew the ship up because he said, "Well, they're pirates, so I don't care." And then the guy says, "Well, there's a kid on there." He says, "Kid or otherwise." He said, "It could be a goddamn baby." He said, that commoner crossed my ship. He got in front of us. Basically, he caused me very, very, very minimum slight a slight irritation, which means he deserves to die. And then he aimed that cannon at Sabo, a little kid. Kid had to be like, what was he, like 8, 7, 8, something like that at the time. Blew his ass out the water. These people are evil and they deserve to die. And then Dragon comes and saves his ass, keeps the little boy from dying. Anyway, we cut to the a part where the gladiators are holding up in some type of building, and they getting ready to have a sleepover. And Cavendish, he's trying to kill everybody in there. He's getting ready to go to sleep, but he's not contained. And then the first thing Bartolomeo says is, "Yo, we not sleeping like this." He said, we're gonna tie his old monkey ass up, got some chains, and he said, "Get some strong ones too. Get the sea stone." Took the sea stone chains, wrapped it around him. I mean tight. He wrapped it tight to the point that Cavendish might not even be able to sleep. He's sleeping like this, wrapped up with chains all in his back, stuff poking him and whatnot. Then what's his name? Bartolomeo. He said, "Well, at least we can sleep all right now." He said, "Before we wouldn't be able to go to sleep because we might not wake up." That's a good reason. He might not wake up. But what they should have did was just like wrap up his arms and legs. That way he can at least sleep better, and he still won't be able to get out. But they had him wrapped up tight, like a pig in a blanket. Anyway, we cut back to the flashback, and Sabo, he was just on a high level. He told the revolutionaries, he said, "I do not want to go back home." He said, "Period." They said, "We'll just drop you." No, fuck that. He said, "I'm not going back there." They said, "Well, what about your parents?" He said, "I don't care about them." He had amnesia too. because the dude blew. I mean, you see his eyeballs messed up, so he got hit in the head. So he lost everything. All that came out. But he did know he didn't want to go back to those nobles. That's the one thing he did know. You know, it was no way. It was imprinted on his DNA. You know, so it was no way he wouldn't forget that feeling. He told them that he would travel with them, just drop me off somewhere else. Anyway, they wound up keeping them for a little while, and they're training kids to join the Revolutionary Army. Now, I don't know exactly where they get these kids from. I don't think they're kidnapping anything. I think it's like a lot of them are rescues, or some of them are from other revolutionaries that had kids and stuff like that. And they're training them. And Sabo's like, man, he said, if I train with those guys, I'm going to be soft. He was just on a high level. So he went off and did his own training. And he got on the grind. When I say he got on the grind, everybody, all the kids is in class like sleeping, drooling, snot bubbles, the whole nine. They weren't paying any attention. He was in the front, raised his hand, answering questions, everything, trying to figure out as much as he can. Did his own studying. He did everything. I mean, the kids, they had to do push-ups with weights on their back, right? He had double the weight and he was using one arm. That he was just on a high level, and he kept fighting against the higher ranking revolutionaries. He finally got better than Hawk. I think he was like 12 years old. Was he 12? No, he wasn't 12. He was 10, and he was already better than Hawk. He took Hawk out, so that's when Kuma came in and was like, okay, I'll be your next challenge. Kuma beat the brakes off that boy. The boy, he obviously did what they're trying to say is, even though he can't remember everything, certain things are coming by muscle memory. Some things are subconscious. Like when he reached for a weapon, there was swords, knives, it was a gun. He could have used a gun. He went for that pipe. It's like he's a crack addict. He just can't leave that pipe alone. He kept picking that pipe up. Went for the pipe. He went to take out Kuma and Dragon. Obviously, he's no match for either one of them. They took him out. But anyway, after that, that's just to show how hard he was going, you know, how fast he was learning, how hard he was going. When Ace and Luffy were just setting off, just starting off, he had already been on missions and had full hockey. Ace just left Goa Kingdom, whatever, that island. He had just left Logal Town. He just left it. Sabo had already been on missions liberating countries. He had armament hockey and he had observation hockey. Because when they went into this one place where they were getting fired on, he said, I figured something out. I'm thinking he meant that he figured out observation hockey. Because as he's running, you see everything turn blue. When you see everything turn blue, it's on. And he's dodging everything. Took out the whole compound by himself. They said, man, if you get any better than this, you're going to be leading the Revolutionary Army. Basically, you're going to take Dragon's spot. Something I just memorized something. It just came to my head. You're going to take Dragon's spot. That was crazy. Anyway, after that, they basically really just ended from there. They show, him when he turns 20, and Robin just confirms who he really is and stuff like that. But this dude was really ahead of his damn time. Luffy sets off, what's his name? Ace. He leaves. He could have became a Shibukai, chose not to, and somehow Sabo's able to somewhat remember him. The dude said his name is Portgas D, and then he remembered his name was Ace, but he just still doesn't remember who the dude is. Luffy sets off, and that's when he fights against that Sea King. Sabo's still on another level. I think Sabo was the strongest one out of all three of them. I mean, this whole time. I don't know about right now. I think he's stronger than Luffy, but in Gear 4, Luffy would definitely give him problems. And Gear 4, come on now. Gear 4 is too much. Yeah, so anyway, they're getting ready to go into how he started to remember. He said when Ace died, that's when he started to remember because he's seen him in the newspaper, during the war or whatever. And then that's pretty much it. This episode, I'm going to say this. It's like a breath of fresh air compared to the episodes before because it was so slow. I think they went a little too fast. I think they should have dragged this one out a little bit. And when I mean drag this out, I don't mean showing people walk for 10 minutes like they do. I mean, they could have showed more fights, with him and Kuma, like lengthened it, or a fight with Hawk. When he was fighting with Hawk, he did a couple moves and that was it. I think they ran to it too quick. They could have slowed down a little bit, but they're moving a little too fast. I'm gonna give this episode 4.5, but this episode is actually real good. It was funny. It was, what I'm saying, it was fun. We finally getting Sabo's backstory. And the pacing is finally good with One Piece right now. Like with this episode, starting from this episode, the pacing is good. Okay, but anyway, go ahead and leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe because I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke. And you got the power to change that. Peace. Make sure I got sound shit. Good. Okay, yeah.